Let's go. Hey you guys, I think I got it the way I want it. As you can see, I got rid of the nightcap, moved the over, moved its rain fly over here as well, and put up free soldier up above it. Got the free soldier running from that tree to that tree, just like the tarp. So it's back over top of the rain fly for the and then I've got the front of the rain fly tied to the two middle points out here on the free soldier in that far corner, tied off to that tree over there, and then this corner over here set up with this. What that's going to allow me to do is later, if the storm gets too heavy, all I have to do is drop this down. I'll still have plenty of room under here, but that'll help keep out the rain if necessary, and keep the wind from taking off with everything. Because I can bring it down to pretty much any level that I want to under here, just by moving it up and moving it down. Okay, now I'm going to bring over one of those rocks for later. That way, when I bring it down this far, if I want to bring it down just this far, I can put a rock behind it, which will help stabilize it in place. I mean, it'll stay in place, but put some wind on it and it's going to go down. So, but even all the way down like this, it's good. Now I still got room. I can set my chair here or over there if I want to watch the storm and get wet. But set my chair up underneath here, and if I want to at that point, I can even pull this up here and toggle that off to there. But the problem with that is that it's going to probably catch some rain in here, up in the top of this, and it should run off here, but I'd rather not have that happen either way. So, but it can be toggled off to there, or tightened up over here, whichever the situation calls for. So, options there. I think this is going to work out good. Wind usually comes from that direction with these storms, so there's that. I'm happy with it, except for this hanging down here. I think I'm going to just tuck that right up over there so it is out of the way. I'm sorry that I don't have a shirt on, y'all. It is really hot out here. So there's that. Also, I brought some better pants to wear, but because I was on the motorcycle earlier, I put jeans on, which I feel better with riding the curves out here. I like to get into the curves a little bit, and if I slide, I want to be at least a little protected. My top, I just had on a short sleeve, a cut-off sleeve, and then my leather jacket over top of it, protect my internals. My arms would be screwed. I did have gloves on. The gloves are slide gloves, so. Alright, anyways, so this is this. I've still got all that stuff over there that still needs put away, but I wanted to get this done first. That way I knew exactly what I needed for this and didn't end up putting away a stake or something that I wanted to have to do this. But now this is done. Now I can get back to packing up. The sun is dropping rapidly. I'm not sure what time it is. Let's go see what time it is. It is currently 5:30. It's currently 5:30 in the evening. And yeah, here we are. We've got 2.5 hours of light available. So the other thing just dawned on me is the bike. I don't have a cover with me. Could pull the bike in under this. Could do that. Then instead of dropping this back that way, Let's see how the stand's going that way. I guess we'll not stand going that way right now because it's not got any. Okay, so that's about its tolerance right there. Or I could use a tarp. I could use a different tarp to cover it. But I don't think I'm gonna worry about it. I think if it's wet in the morning, I will wipe it off and be good to go. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Standard procedure. Meanwhile, yeah, I like this. I like the way it feels. Again, right now you're sitting in my chair. You're taking my chair. I gave you my chair. You're special. Anyways, as it stands right now, I can bring my chair in, cook over there, put my chair in here, set my table back up, set meat. I need my table? No, but not that difficult. It got grease on it last night from making that bacon, but today, because I'm going to be doing it, I won't be cooking on that table. I'll just be eating on that table, so it should be just fine. Should be a-okay. Yeah, so that's that. So I need to get to doing that. That way I can get to making a fire and getting dinner going. So, after these messages, so I realized something. After I walked over there to get started on that, I seen something that reminded me, oh yeah, I still need the underquilt and the underquilt protector put on here. So, here we go. So, I got the Kajabi on as the underquilt. This is what I used as a sleeping bag last night. Now I'm using it as an underquilt. I thought about the fact that I could technically use it as the hammock, get rid of the altogether. Just use the Kajabi as my hammock and then use the water protector under it. But being as I'm looking at probably some chilly winds through here tonight, I thought, you know what, no, I'm going to keep it the way it is, and just use the Kajabi as the underquilt and then put the rain protector on underneath that. So this is what it looks like with Kajabi on as an underquilt. It's got buttons. I currently buttoned up the bottom 2 buttons, so it'll stay up above it, and that gives me plenty of room to get in without this falling down. Okay? And then later on tonight, if I want to, I doubt that I will, but if I wanted to, this actually has more buttons on it. Okay, so I could button it up even further, stay extra warm if necessary, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. If anything, if I want a top cover, I'll just take the one side of the and throw it over like that, and that should keep me plenty warm. But again, if I need it, I've got that available to me to button up as well around me. So there's that. Now I will get the rain protector on there. Okay, this is the One Wind rain protector. First time using this. No, take that back. Second time using it. But the first time I used it was with the nightcat that broke. So I didn't actually get to use this. And if I remember right, part of this actually broke because of that. I don't see it right off the top of my head. No, it wasn't this. It was not this. It was the nightcat underquilt that also sustained a little bit of damage, but not enough to worry about. And I was going to replace the part that broke anyways. It was like a plastic clip. So I was going to replace that anyway, so I did not ask for a refund or get a replacement on that. I just kept it and figured I will make it work. Now this, like I said, I've only tried to use it the one time before, so it might take a little bit of figuring out here. So I'll get back with you as soon as I get this on there. What you just seen me do, lay it down inside the hammock itself. Actually, I put it inside the underquilt, just to keep it up off the ground while I'm installing it. From here, I will take the one end, take it down, install it, and then come back and install the other end, and it'll come out at that point. So let's do it. Now I'm going to run this underneath this button right here, kind of help it stay in place. Now this has so many cords to it. Not sure why it needs so many cords, but there you have it. Now I'm going to start with it just I'm going to go inside the same D-ring that is holding the actual hammock itself. Okay. Alright, so that's on there. Now, pull it on down there. Let's see. Good. Pull that outside of the button place now that that end's on. Bring it down here. Okay. And my first question has to be, which side is inside, which side is outside? Don't know the answer to that question. And there's no clear way of knowing. Pocket here. That pocket really doesn't tell me anything. Doesn't really tell me anything. But that seems to really have some stretchy to it. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'd say it's going to work well. Wherever I clip it. Alright, again down here we have one. And we clipped on to this here. And clip that from there. Alright. Clipped on that there. And clip that from there. Alright. So this is up under there, and again, so yeah, just need another little clip down at this end. There it is. That through there, and put that on there. So that's what we're left with. It is sagging down here. All right. There we go. Everything is inside there. Now, to adjust it, I'm guessing that's what all of those little things are for, right? For individual adjustments. How do you want it? How would you like it? Alright. So this is this main fuse here. I'm kind of at a loss. Here, guys. Alright, so let's see. This goes from end to end. So that's the furthest one up, which I have currently clipped to either end. Okay, this is just one going through this side, one going through this side. Then there's this little thing here and this little thing here. Okay, so this tightens that up from side to side. This doesn't go through the material at all. This is by itself. And it's got the exact same on this other side over here. The same two things. So, gotta figure out exactly what I need to do here. That tightens. Okay, so that tightens. We know that tightens. And that's got that there. That's why that doesn't need clip, because this has this right here. So once you tighten that, you can use this to put that in place. Alright, I'll figure this out and I'll get back with you guys. Okay guys, so what I ended up doing was just clipping one end of all of these straight into the hammock suspension, same place the hammock is clipped in. So everything's clipped in on the D-rings. But now I'm 3 layers thick. I've got this, and I've got this. Now, the problem with all of this is that I'm gonna need to stay up late, because right now as it stands, if I were to get in that, I would be roasting, right? And it's probably not going to be cool enough to even get into until probably midnight. So there's that. That's where I stand on that. But the other side of that coin is, of course, it's going to keep me dry if it rains while I'm sleeping after midnight. Now again, that's supposed to stop raining at midnight, but should also keep me warm when the temperatures dip to around 50 degrees with a slight cool breeze. So I think it'll be great. I don't know. We'll find out, and I'll definitely be able to tell you in the morning whether or not it was yay or nay. So that's done. That's set up. Finally, I can get to actually putting stuff away and then getting a fire started, because it's not hot enough out here. I need a fire. But I do need a fire to cook my bacon properly and eat 6 eggs and almost a pound of bacon. I like food, but that's gonna be a lot of food for tonight. And the other side of that coin is that I have to have that done before the first rains get here around 7 or so. And it's 6 now. So I don't see that happening, actually. So I think that even though I'm staying here the extra night because I thought I was going to be able to cook my eggs and bacon, I am in fact still not going to be able to actually cook my bacon and eggs. I'll get back to you in a little bit. Future me, just 10 minutes later, I just heard some thunder. And indeed, there are dark clouds rolling in over yonder. So, what that means is, I'm going to take all of that right there. I'll shove as much as possible into the big dry bag, which is down there at the end of the table, and then wrap everything else up in that blue tarp, which is what everything is sitting on, minus the chips because they're open, and that would be messy. So we're not going to do that. All right, you guys, got work to do. I'll be back. Oh my God, you guys. So that forestry lady, she came back. So sweet. Here she is. She's trying to get to the pharmacy to get medication for her kid, trying to get home to her husband for this evening. They've been working on their roof. And she took time out of her day. She'd been here. We'd been talking about the whole cooking thing and everything. and the flies. Flies are so bad here. The deer flies, they're awful. They bit me all over the place. But anyway, so she just came back. Guys, she was so worried about me not being able to cook that bacon and eggs, right? She brought me a fuel canister. She bought me a Coleman little stove. Dude, that is so freaking awesome. that she took her time and money and went and got me this stuff. That is just superb. I mean, she got me those. She got me Reynolds wrap, aluminum foil, right? She got me multi-spice little thingy. And she got me a couple fly swatters. How awesome is that? That is the absolute sweetest freaking thing, right? I mean, who does that? That's great. That is fantastic. That is so over the top awesome customer service like you wouldn't believe, right? That's phenomenal. I mean, that touches me right there. You know, she took time out of her day to go do this for me, right? Just because she was worried about whether or not I would get to eat my bacon and eggs. That's just, wow. That's so awesome. We need more people like that in the world, y'all. That kind of thing, that's what makes the world work, right? That's what makes the world go round. That is, that's beyond amazing. Anyways, I got to get back to getting everything wrapped up because there's been some more thunder and I don't want everything over there getting wet. So that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Lady, I don't remember what your name is. I know you had a name tag on, but if you ever watch this video, thank you so much. That means so much to me. It really does. It's so much to me that you took time out of your day to do that. Thank you. And it has begun, ladies and gentlemen. There is rain. Got everything under here just in time. Including firewood. Okay. Feel like I'm missing something. Oh yes. Wanted to set up my table again. Let's see if I can do it better this time than I did last night. On the first shot, instead of having to take two. There we go. Got it in one shot, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sweating something fierce. The main reason I wanted that, set up right away, be able to get everything in this chair, off this chair, and onto the table. So I could have a seat. Ooh, it's really coming down now. I suppose I need to tell you that. I'm sure you can hear it just fine. Probably hear it better than you hear me, right? Alright, let's pull you in here. Whew. Ah, don't sit down yet. Don't sit down yet. I need a drink. I need a drink. I need a drink. And chips. Oh, the side of the table over there is getting wet. So, I need to move you guys over here. Alright. That water is running right off the tarp, right over yonder there. But, I actually got something hanging there. It might be wet. Isn't a big deal, but it doesn't need to get wet. I let it get wet. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and move this down a little bit like so. Oh, my headset's getting wet. And I still didn't get a drink. Can you believe that? All that and I still didn't get a drink. Alright. Iced coffee, y'all. Bring y'all in closer here. There we go. Now we can just sit here, have a fireside chat without a fire. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Things are getting wet. So far, the tarps seem to be working the way I wanted them to. As far as taking all the water out that way. Around top here. Not so great there. Oh, I know how to fix that. Fix that with this right here. Maybe. Is that tall enough? That might not be tall enough. Not really tall enough. It's still going to pull a little bit right there. Huh. There you go. But as far as the back goes, setting off the back just fine. Don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to sit down and enjoy my Loca Mocha Java Monster coffee and energy. Iced coffee. Her two wills, yes. If you ever watch it, know that this is my go-to choice. Iced coffee as well. But I can't always get to a coffee shop, especially out in places like this. And these are great. The Starbucks canned iced coffees are great, specifically the mochas. I like the mochas, I like the coffees. These I also like the mochas and the coffees as well. They're just good. Chocolate and coffee, hello, they go together. Water's just pulling up in a little tiny pool back there and then dumping out the back. Or off the side, I should say. Right up there just above where the two tarps are connected. You can see a pool building. And another pool attaches to it from the top. And it comes down and drains out a little bit. There's probably a pool forming on top of that tarp right there. Towards the back. That I'll need to get rid of here pretty soon. It's hot, y'all. hot and humid. No, not really pulling there. Good. I like it. Not pulling. Nice breeze. Stay here for about 5 or 10 minutes and I might be pulled down. These flies, man. Speaking of flies, she just brought me 2 fly swatters. That is, man, that's awesome. That is just awesome. Now, there's something else I want to say about this. There is, aside from these fly swatters and the aluminum foil, I didn't have aluminum foil. I don't really need it, but I didn't have any, right? But aside from that and these fly swatters, you guys know I already had everything that she brought me, right? Which, I mean, the other things is what, the stove and the fuel canister and the seasoning thing. Here's the thing, because some of you might be asking yourselves, well, you already had all that stuff, why did you take it? When a stranger does a random act of kindness, you accept that kindness. To me, that's just, you do that. Because if you don't accept someone's kindness, it's like you're taking a blessing from them. Okay? They're being made happy by giving it to you. Don't take that away from them. Don't take their happiness just because you're like, oh, well, I already got this. And I understand in your heart, you're like, well, but that's what you should do, right? I used to do that, okay, until I realized one time that that's what it is. You know, you're taking away their happiness. You don't have to be like, oh, I already got one of those. She literally went out of her way, miles out of her way. She went, she lives, the way I understand it, she lives way north of here. She lives north of the closest town north from me, which it takes me 20 minutes to get to that town. She lives north of there. She went from her field office down here in her personal vehicle all the way to that town, to Walmart. She was going there to get her child's prescription anyways. But here's the thing. She lives further north. She had to come the 20 minutes all the way back here and then go back north the 20 minutes plus to go home. Okay? So by her doing that act of kindness, it was obviously something that was going to make her happy. And if I said, oh, well, I appreciate it, but I've already got this. Okay? I don't know if you've ever had anybody say that to you, but it's kind of like, oh, you know, it's kind of a letdown because you thought you were doing something good, and now it's just like, oh, well, I guess it didn't really matter that I did this, something nice for somebody. Okay? Always accept a kindness from someone. You know, even if you don't feel that you deserve it, even if you don't feel it's needed, accept that kindness. Now, that said, as far as the aluminum foil goes, I can use it. You know, it's something that I can use. Not today, not tonight. I don't think I'll need it. Although, I could actually use it to cook the bacon, and I could use it to cook the bacon and still use the gas burner, right? So, and that would be, and it would, I could cook it better in that than in the pan. Anyway, so there's options there. Point is, I can use that aluminum foil. This is definitely going to get some use. You know, I've been using this here to swat flies off with me all day and keep myself cool. I don't know what's water and what's sweat anymore, but it's still cool, so I don't care. And those of you who have been out doing this in this kind of heat, you know, you don't care. By the end of the day, you don't care. As long as it keeps you cool, that's what matters. You know, that evaporative cooling, it matters. Anyways, that's what I've been using, and I've got a few welts on my back, I think, from trying to swat around with it and accidentally slap myself pretty good. So this is helpful. You know, this is very helpful. I will be using it the rest of the night, I'm sure, as well as tomorrow morning. The fuel canister. Listen, you can never have too many fuel canisters. Those of you who do backpacking, who do camping, you know, you can never have too much fuel, right? And that's not a cheap purchase. I mean, it's just not. Those fuel canisters anymore, that size, are what I think, $10 maybe. And that little stove. Now I've got stoves. You know, aside from the one that you guys seen earlier in the video, I've got other stoves as well. But this is really cool. I really like this. I like this a lot, actually. It's really, really cool. So yes, I will be keeping this and I will be using this. And actually, this will probably end up with a home in this bike, to where this always stays in this bike. Okay, because she gave this to me on this bike, and I feel like it should stay with this bike. And I've got a pocket that it can go in and stay in and just always be there. I never use that pocket for anything else. So I will put this in a Ziploc, and I will put it in that pocket, and it will live there for the rest of its life. Well, except when I take it out and use it. So I'm really excited about that. Again, you know, I've got other stoves, but I don't have this stove, and this was a gift, which makes it extra cool, right? A gift from a total stranger, you know, who didn't expect anything in return from me. You know, she just did it. You know, she went and got me these things, and she took time, guys, to actually not just watch the weather on radar, but she took time to actually screen record that radar so I could see the time lapse in person, because obviously we're out in a place where nobody's got signal. She didn't have signal out here either, you know. So she actually took the time to screen record that and bring it back and show me what we were looking at as far as the weather goes. And again, you know, it was the same thing, 7 to 11 or so, and then it clears up. So, but this is an awesome gift that means a lot to me, and it will stay, it will have its home forever and always in that 1981 Honda Goldwing Interstate. That's where this little Coleman stove lives the rest of its life. So I'm happy about that. I'm super happy about that. I'm stoked about that, actually. So, and what was the other thing? Oh, the spice. Okay. I don't usually use spice when I cook. She didn't know that, you know. She didn't know whether I had spice or not, and she just probably was over in the camping stuff looking at that other stuff. She was like, oh, you know what? Maybe he could use this, you know. And so out of the kindness of her heart, she grabbed that for me. How amazing is that? You know, something so simple, yet it means so much to me. You know, and it meant something to her. You know, it was a way for her to feel like, hey, I'm giving, I'm helping someone. You know, and that if you've ever done that, which I hope all of you have, you know that feeling that you get when you give somebody something that you think they need. Okay, and I'm sure most of you have probably felt that feeling where you give somebody something and they're like, oh yeah, cool, whatever. or they're just like, oh, I've already got that. You know, that feeling is such a letdown. That feeling is such a letdown. But when you give somebody something and they're like, that is awesome, thank you so much, and it makes you feel good. So yeah, don't turn around random acts don't turn down random acts of kindness, because it really is a blessing for that person. Let it be that blessing of happiness. Done with my sermonizing, all right? Done with my sermonizing, but I totally blown away. That's just totally awesome. Totally awesome. She took that kind of time out of her day to make sure I was comfortable with the weather, to make sure that I had what I needed. And there was no reason other than she just wanted to do it out of the kindness of her heart. She had a kid to get home to with his medicine. She's, you know, her husband's at their house working on the roof. She needs to get there to help him, and she took the time to do this for me, and that's fantastic. So, anyways, as I said, enough sermonizing. It's not raining quite so hard now. Obviously, you can hear that, right? Actually, I don't. Yeah, it's raining a little bit, but it's mostly just what we hear on the tarp is just dripping from the trees. You know, I am in a very wooded area. Oh, you know what else this is going to be good for? Back scratcher. Perfect. All right. Nope, still no water buildup there. Water builds up over there and then dumps off. I like it. Because of the way that I have this rain fly connected to that tarp, it's causing, and then the tarp over there connected to that tree, and it's not at a perfect angle, so it's creating that little pocket right over there. But it's working. Putting the rain over there, off to the side. I'm not getting wet, and things aren't getting wet. The only thing that's really got wet is the motorcycle, but it wipes off. Schmogs, or anything like that. Handkerchiefs, big squares. I don't know what you want to call this, but it's big, and it's been used a lot for wiping off a lot of stuff, including myself today. All that sweat off of me. And it's so humid today. I mean, I got this wet with water once. Once, and it's still wet. And it's nice and cool. But again, how much of that wetness is sweat? Yeah, well, there's that. Nonetheless, it's keeping me cool. And the iced coffee's great. I feel kind of hemmed in here. But this isn't too bad. I've got a nice sized porch going on here. Very nice sized porch. This trekking stick, I actually had it around the backside, holding it out so I could sit in the hammock, which I did for a couple minutes earlier. But I could use the other one and put it back there still, but I don't really need it, so not that important. Oh, there is some pulling going on up there. I just heard it all pour off. Oh yeah, there it is. I see it. There we go. There we go. Got some more water off there. I should have tied this one more space up over here, I think. No. If anything, I should have taken it all the way out to that main tie-off up there on the corner that goes out to the tree. Yeah, that probably would have worked best. It's got a long enough guy line attached to it, so I could have done that. But I didn't, did I? It is what it is, and it's working, so no complaints. But when you do stuff like this, it's always like, okay, how can I do it better? How can I do it, you know, maybe a little different that might be better for any given situation. I do like the way I've set this up as far as having the rain fly. Oh, something got me good there. Yeah, as far as having this rain fly and then having that tarp up, I feel like it's just what the doctor ordered, right? So, anyways, I'm gonna sit here and relax for a little bit, and I'll get back with you guys later. I got it figured out. I've got over here on the gravel, I've got a little fire brewing. You get a little bed of coals, right? And I took this green limb, little piece of green limb here, and stripped it down. And after I've got my bed of coals, I will take this, and I've got a little bipod actually, that I will use to set this up across that bed of coals and drape my bacon over this. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, I think this is too small. I don't think this is going to hold all the bacon I need to put on it. So, anyways, the idea is going to work, but this stick is not going to work. So, I need a new stick. I'll get the bark off of it. Once the bark's off of it, I'll run it through the fire a little bit. Kind of seal off the pores so I don't get the taste of whatever wood this is. What is that? Some kind of maple, American maple, maybe? Probably. There's a lot of that around here, so yeah. I don't really want American maple. Maybe that's an oak. I don't know. Either way, I do not want this green in my meat, so kind of scorch the outside of it before I put my bacon on it, but not this piece because this is too small. And then, while that's cooking, I will use my new grill, and I will cook my eggs. I'll just scramble them in the pot. But before I cook them in the pot, I will put one piece of bacon. I will cook one piece of bacon in there. That way I can use the grease to coat the pot, right? Like I did yesterday. So, yeah, this is going to get used for the first time today. It's exciting. Anyways, that's the plan. Hopefully it works out. And hopefully I can get it done. It is still sprinkling out, so I'm worried that that fire isn't going to take off the way that it should. But it seems to be doing midland okay, so hopefully it works out and gives me a nice little bed of coals. I don't really need, a campfire. I'm just under the edge of the tarp here, kind of right at the edge of the tarp. So, not building a big fire. Like I'm not in the fire pit. I don't even like doing this, but I am on gravel. Cleared the duff right there. What little duff there is, which there is some duff. I mean, there's some pine needles and whatnot here, but I cleared that, and It's got a small fire lay there. I got a big rock next to it. That big rock that you probably seen earlier laying over by the fire pit. So that's the max height of this fire, right? It needs to stay below that rock surface. That way I just have a nice little bed of coals that will be hot enough to cook my bacon while I cook the eggs in the pot. That's the plan. I need to get to whittling a new cooking stick, so I'll get to that and I'll see you guys after a while. This is a much bigger cooking stick. I think it will work better. So, we'll get to it. So last night, lighting that fire, as long as I kept giving it oxygen, it would burn, right? In that fire pit. So I thought oxygen was the only problem. Well, it's not. Now that I'm closer up to the wood as it's trying to get started, disappointed to say that I spent $11 per bundle for 3 bundles of wood that are not properly aged. Not cured long enough, so it's not going to burn. It's getting plenty of oxygen now, and it's not burning. Smoldering. And it's not a case where it got wet, because it didn't get wet. It's just not dry. So, plan B. I'm going to cook that bacon and eggs. I think what I've decided is I'm going to cook all the bacon in the pot. A very slow burn, I guess. And then once I get the bacon out, then I'll put the bacon in the pan once it comes out, and then put the eggs in the pot. So that's the plan. Meanwhile, I need to get my table cleaned off so that I can do that. I'll see you guys after a while. Alright, you guys, well, the bacon is in the pot, and the low setting on this stove is actually working really good for baking. Obviously, as you can see, I've got it in the pot with the pan lid covering it. I just checked it, been on for about 6 minutes now, and it is doing a very slow cook. So that's good. I like that. So I will continue stirring it about every 5 or 6 minutes. And I'm going to guess it's going to take probably another 20 minutes or so for it to be where I want it. Once I get done, once it gets done, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I am done. I am ready to just eat and be done. But bacon's not done. Eggs obviously aren't done. They're sitting over there in their little 6-egg carton. Yeah, so once it is done, what I will do is I will take the bacon out and put it in the top, the pan, right? And then the grease, all the excess grease, I will pour into my iced coffee can, my Loca Mocha can, so it can cool down and I can throw that away in the bare garbage can over there. Yeah, so that's how I'm going to dispose of that. Meanwhile, I have a tropical citrus vitamin water. And that is what I am going to start drinking now. I've been drinking water pretty much all day. I don't think I had apple juice this morning. Other than that, did I have a tea? Nope, I don't think I had a tea today. Just water. Which is good because you guys saw me earlier. I mean, sweat was just pouring off of me. And I was still hot. And here I am sitting right by this, which, isn't helping, but it's really not that hot. It's warming up this knee a little bit, but it's not really hot. Like I said, I mean, it's ultra low heat. So that bacon's just going to simmer away until it's done. But point is, I'm doing good on taking in water. I don't know, this is vitamin water. I don't know how much it actually counts as water, but it is pretty good stuff. If you've never tried the vitamin waters, they are really good. This one has caffeine in it, 60 milligrams, which isn't great for heat, but it is what it is. I think it still has less caffeine than that. Yeah, it's definitely got less caffeine than the, let's find out. How much caffeine does Loca Mocha have in it? Really? Doesn't say? Stupid bugs. I turned the light on way over there so they would go hang out with it, but they still keep finding their way to me. It's actually, at least not that I can read, it says caffeine. Caffeine from all sources, 200 milligrams per can. Well, that makes sense. 200 milligrams per can. So this has 200 milligrams. Did a bug just fly in there? And what did this say it had? 60 milligrams. So yeah, this has a lot less caffeine, obviously. Almost a quarter. Just over a quarter of the caffeine that has in it, right? 100% vitamins B3, B5, B6, and B12. Vitamin C and electrolytes. Nutrient-enhanced water beverage. 100 calories per bottle. Total fat 0, sodium 0, total carbs 27 grams. And that is all in added sugars. So 27 grams of added sugars. And that's according to this, it's 54% daily value, right? But it doesn't say what the daily value is calculated on. I'm guessing 2,000 calories. It doesn't say. Potassium, not a significant source. Niacin, 100%. Vitamin B12, 100%. Magnesium, not a significant source. Vitamin C, 100%. Vitamin B6, 100%. Pantothenic acid, 100%. So there's that, vitamin water. Each one is a little different. And then they all have a little saying on them. This one says, we're the delicious, just enough caffeine having drinkable version of your favorite energy music playlist, but without all the aggro songs the algorithm sneaks in there. So, yeah, vitamin water. No, I'm not sponsored. This is not a commercial. I like vitamin water. I do like some vitamin water. But the sugar and caffeine content, I guess, kind of keep it from being water. But it's still better than just drinking these all day, right? And I could 100% just drink iced coffees all day. But this would also grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, right? So there's that. Smells like bacon. Smells like bacon. It is too. It's cooking nice and slow. I like it. I'm just gonna keep stirring it around ever so often. But it's basically like cooking it in the oven, which that's really how I prefer to cook my bacon anyways, in the oven. I don't like frying it in a pan because it gets too done, and I don't like it too done. I like it floppy. I like my bacon floppy, no crisp. So, hello. Is that rain or just wind blowing the rain out of the trees? I think it's just wind blowing the rain out of the trees. But anyways, I'm going to keep sitting here watching the pot. Keep waiting for it to do tricks, but it has not so far. I do really like this burner. I do. A nice low setting, and it has high enough and wide enough footing that it works great for doing this. Nice wide burner. Yep. It's a keeper. And that is a Coleman Peak, it looks like. Coleman Peak stove, so. Get out of here. Bugs. I'm in the forest, right? Bugs. Go figure. Oh, so a little bit ago, there was a bug. I had stood up and there was another bug there now. Yeah. But there was a big old ugly bug, one I'd never seen before, just sitting there on the edge, just staring out here, like, hey, how you doing, man? Like, it was ready to carry on a conversation, and I wasn't having it, so I shooed it away. No, I didn't kill it. I'm in the forest. I expect bugs. But they need to respect me, because I respect them. You know, I'm not going to kill them. I'm not going to go touching them just because they're there. I'm not going to eat them just because they're there. They need to stop eating me and touching me just because I'm here. They need to respect my space. Give me 6 inches. That's not 6 inches, dude. See? No respect. No respect. All right, back to watching the pot. Catch you guys in a few. All right, you guys. This bacon is ready to be called done. I've been working on it a total of maybe 35 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. Yeah, took a while, but it is out. Just got bit by something, but it is done. I know to most people that's not done, and it's way too floppy for most people, but it has definitely reached an internal temperature of at least 160 degrees. Every piece has, so it is cooked. It is cooked. Bacon is cooked. I got the eggs out. They were a little wet from sitting in the water in the cooler. Just a little, not a lot. But in the process of getting them out, I dropped an egg. So I'm down to 5 eggs instead of 6, which is fine because I'm not going to eat 6 eggs. I'll be very lucky if I can eat those 5 eggs and all this bacon. Probably not going to happen. Probably still going to throw away a lot of it. But it is what it is, right? I'm going to do my darndest to eat as much of it as possible. Meanwhile, like I said, the bacon is done. So it's all going to go here in. Pop myself. That was not comfortable. Bacon. Lots of bacon. All for me. Nobody here to share it with, right? Just me. I'm going to enjoy it. Alright. Now it's time to get the eggs in here and get them scrambled up. Just a little water there. Crack them. I'm going to crack them inside the styrofoam on the table. Oh, that sucked. That was obviously not the smart way to go about doing that. And I lost 2 eggs. Alright. Well. Oopsie. And I lost a lot of oil. So, I will not be cracking. There is now bacon grease all over everything. All over everything. Thought I had it balanced on there good. Obviously, I did not. That's a pretty big thing here too, so the fact that I could not get it balanced on there is kind of disturbing. Anyways, I have 3 eggs left. And I can't crack it on the styrofoam. That sucks. Okay, well, what I do know is that I need to turn off that heat because I'm going to burn my pan badly. How about an egg on a spoon? Bingo. That's all I needed to do. Do it on a spoon. I've got egg and bacon grease all over everything, folks. Oh well, live and learn, I reckon. You would have thought I would have learned something like that a long time ago. But here we are. Yep. Here we are. Egg and bacon grease. Literally all over everything. Alright, I'm going to work on these eggs and work on cleaning up the mess. And I'll touch base with you later. Bye. Alright, eggs are done. Bacon's been done. Still got the mess all over the place because obviously once you start on eggs, you kind of gotta stay with them until they're done. So I'm still covered in bacon grease. Stuff next to me is still covered in bacon grease. Everything's still covered in bacon grease. I did pick out those 2 eggs though. So there's that. So Alright. Let's see what these bacon grease scrambled eggs taste like. Imagine they're probably pretty good. Yep. They taste just like eggs that have been scrambled in bacon grease. What do you think? Alright. Just by the bacon. Tastes just like bacon. Not as hot as I'd like it. Could have been sitting over here, but I think what I'm going to do is put all the bacon back in here with the eggs. And then turn the burner back on for a little bit. And get everything heated back up. Because I really want my bacon hot. So, you want to have hot bacon. The only way to do that is get off me, stupid bug. Just to heat it back up with the eggs. Now I wouldn't have to with the eggs. I guess technically I could just roast it in this little pan and heated it up in there. But meanwhile, while I'm doing that, my eggs will be getting cold. And I don't want cold eggs either. So, here we go. Maybe. There we go. So, that's back on. Now, we're going to stir this all around here. And get this bacon heated up with the eggs. And I just lost a little piece of egg there. That's okay. I've still got plenty of food here. What do you think? But, yeah, I've made quite a mess just making bacon and eggs here. Quite a mess indeed. But you'll have that, I guess. I made this heated up a whole bunch. Definitely don't want to scorch my eggs in the process of trying to warm my bacon. So I think we're going to call that good. Damn bugs. Bugs everywhere. Alright. Hey, okay. Yep, that'll work. I'm going to eat this and chillax. Talk to you guys in a little bit before I go to bed.